Welcome to the Gym and Tonic Podcast. I'm your host, Shanae Kunsa from SK Bodyworks. This is a podcast where I share valuable education, insight, and strategies around all things health, fitness, nutrition, weight loss, and mindset, mixed in with some laughs, a whole lot of balance, and a few ums along the way. If you're ready to make your weight loss and fitness goals a reality, you've come to the right place, because through these episodes, I'm going to help you live a healthy but balanced life, lose the weight, and become the best version of you possible. Let's go, girlfriend. Hello, lovely lady. Before we dive into today's episode, I quickly wanted to let you know of the game-changing and affordable health and fitness membership that I offer. The SK Bodyworks app is a health and fitness membership that gives you the recipes, workouts, education, community, yoga, meditations, challenges, and so much more to help you improve your overall health, lose and/or maintain your weight, get fit, and step into the best version of you possible. Coming into the new year, in January 2025, this is a very powerful time of year to set goals. And in the SK Bodyworks app, you'll find a masterclass called Effective Goal Setting. This masterclass is for you if you find yourself setting goals at the beginning of the year, then never check back in on these goals again and you don't actually achieve them. It is for you if you feel motivated with your New Year's resolution only to completely fall off track by the end of January, then feel bad about yourself. It is for you if you want 2025 to be the year that you finally lose the weight and feel confident in your skin. It is also for you if you are busy and want simple, easy, and actionable goal-setting techniques that will help you actually achieve your goals. On top of this, there is also a goal-setting guide full of journal prompts to help you get super clear on your goals for this year and actually achieve them. Feeling more motivated than ever with serious momentum, ready to make 2025 your best year yet in health, fitness, mindset, and nutrition. On top of these goal-setting resources and education in the app, there is so much more value. DM me the word app on socials at SK Bodyworks or click in the link in the show notes below to sign up or find out more information, because this is a place where you want to be in 2025 and you can join today for the price equivalent of 2 takeaway coffees a week. So I hope to see you inside the membership, girlfriend. And if you have any questions, please send me a DM on socials at SK Bodyworks or flick me an email at contact@skbodyworks.com.au. And the best thing yet, it is no lock-in contracts, so you can cancel at any time if you wish. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to the Gym and Tonic Podcast. I cannot believe we're here recording the very first episode for 2025. I don't know where the hell the last 7 months have gone. When I say we, I should say I started this podcast 7 months ago. So in May 2024. And last year, it feels weird to say that, last year I recorded 12 episodes, and here we are today recording episode 13, the very first one for 2025. And I'm so excited for what's in store for the podcast this year. So I cannot wait for this year. I feel like it's just going to be a year of growth. That's what I'm going to put out to the universe. So today's episode, I just need to stop saying that. I'm sharing January's challenge with you. So if you are new here, every month on the Gym and Tonic podcast, we have a new challenge for that specific month. And the idea of these monthly challenges is to really up-level ourselves, to challenge ourselves, to grow, to get outside of our comfort zones, and I guess ultimately step into and become more expansive versions of ourselves, take the action and step into and embody that best version of ourselves possible. So that is the idea of the monthly challenges. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. I'm going to be sharing with you the challenge that I'm challenging you with for this month, January, for the first month of 2025. But before we do actually dive into that, we're going to just do a quick reflection on last month's challenge. So December's challenge. So last month's challenge was for you to pick one habit that you wanted to stop doing or change, or to essentially introduce into your life and actually follow through with it. Because your life and your reality is only as good as your habits are. Like, there is so much truth behind that. And something that I shared with you guys that I was doing in line with last month's challenge was to actually be more consistent with visualization and to make it a habit in my routine. So that was what I was doing for December's challenge. And I have definitely been more consistent with it, 100%. And I'm, I guess, proud of the progress I've made. It hasn't been perfect, but in saying that, we never want to aim for perfect, because it's never going to be 100% perfect. Life is going to be life. Life is going to happen. And, aiming for this is only going to set yourself up for failure. And I find for a lot of my clients, it really encourages an all or nothing mentality, which ultimately is sabotaging goals. Like, it's probably one of the most common things that I see sabotage goals, whether it's in relation to health, fitness, nutrition, or, lifestyle changes, or, whatever it might be, mindset, whatever it is not sustainable, the all or nothing approach is. So anyways, I'm not going to go too much into that because that's not what we're here to talk about today. But yeah, so there's still been progress this month with my visualization, which I'm super proud of. And just to, I guess, very briefly share with you, like, ways that I have been visualizing has been through guided meditations. It's probably been the most predominant one. I was trying to think of the word predominant form of visualization that I've been doing. So yeah, guided meditation. So whether that's I've been doing that in the morning, or sometimes I've been doing it like throughout the day during like a work break, or even as I'm sort of going to bed, as I'm like drifting off to sleep in the evening. Another way that I've been doing this is actually looking at my vision board and just taking some time to just, I guess, center myself, ground myself, get in touch with my body, in tune with my body. So just being really present, taking some deep breaths, and then, looking at my vision board and actually like stepping into what it would feel like if that was my reality, and really ultimately, visualizing that at that same time. So that's been another way that I'm doing it. And I'm going to share another way with you in a minute. But let me tell you that the impact that this has had, like the more consistent visualization, and yeah, the impact that it's had on my life as a whole, and I guess how I feel, even I guess like my trust for the universe to bring these desires into my life, and just a strong knowing that there is always more on the way, and that these desires are going to happen, has, it's been incredible. And I felt that like my state of being has truly shifted, and I've sort of moved from a, I guess, state of, I would say lack, to like abundance and gratitude. And like, lack has been something that in the past I have really, I guess, struggled with. And I was really looking at life through a lens of lack. However, over like the past, like maybe 6 to 8 months, I've really been working on shifting that. And visualization, especially last month, like on top of, I guess, the work that I'd already been doing, has really even helped enhance and, magnify that as well. Because, the more that you see it, the more that you see it. So, I guess in relation to that abundance and gratitude, like the more that you appreciate, are aware of, and are grateful for the abundance that is already in your life. And I promise you, there is abundance there, whether you realize it or not. If you look for it, it is there. It is. And the more that you see it, the more that you start to see it. So I encourage you to, shift from that, I guess, mindset of, lack to abundance and gratitude, and, just trust that there is always more on the way. And, as a whole, I guess it's made me feel so much more aligned. It's helped me have a lot more clarity, and even feel like even more excited, focused, and motivated, for what's to come and for the future. And it's even helped me absolutely 100% has helped me raise my like vibration and my frequency. And energy is everything. Like where your attention goes, your energy flows. I'm actually currently reading the book Ask and It Is Given by Esther Hicks. And I guess Abraham Hicks. And you may have heard of the book, you may not have, but I've absolutely loved it. I'm currently about 3/4 of the way through. And this is another way that I have been, I guess, visualizing. The tools in this book has helped me really step up my visualization game with different, I guess, tools, resources, and I guess manifestation techniques, really. And, you know, it's helped me like even further understand the law of attraction. And like this is backed by science, and what you focus on and what you put out into the world, you attract more of. So like I was sort of saying before with the lack, if you are constantly focused on what you don't have and you're looking at your life through this lens of lack, you are only going to attract more of this, more reasons to feel like you don't have enough of, you know, X, Y, Z, whatever it is, right? You have to be the person who you want to become in order to attract the things that you desire, or, you know, the outcomes in reality that you desire. You cannot be the same person and attract a different reality. It does not work. So you have to really be that person, and that's how you'll become that person. Like it says it in the words, be to become, right? And yeah, so you simply will not attract something that is not a vibrational match to your energy. And like that is a universal law. And I actually remember when I used to like read, see, or like hear things about like, you know, I guess the law of attraction and manifestation and, you know, all that sort of good stuff. And I never actually really like listened, like I always had like a little bit of an interest for it, but I never actually really like listened to it or I guess delved into it as such. But like now, like over the last, like the work that I've been doing, like the self-development work that I've been doing on myself over like the last 12 months, like, wow, it has truly opened up like a new world, like a whole new world has opened up. And like, I'm not saying this to say, you know, look at me, like, look at where I am. I'm not saying that for that purpose. I guess I'm saying this so that you can be aware of, you know, what's possible for you when you expand your awareness, when you expand your knowledge, and, you know, you expand your horizons to open up more possibilities for you in this lifetime so that you can, you know, truly step into the highest version of you. And I guess even when I say, you know, the highest version of you, I don't think there's a point in time where you know, reach this version and you're like, yay, I made it, like I'm done, I did it. Like, I think that we are constantly evolving, growing, and becoming more expansive and, you know, better versions of ourselves. And I truly believe that it's a never-ending process. Like this work does not stop, but you get to enjoy the process. So end of story. I went on a bit of a rampage there, but end of story. I have a feeling that there is going to be some of my manifestations come to life in 2025 this year. So watch this space. So just quickly, I guess, coming back to last month's challenge, your habits determine your life, like everything flows from there. What you engage your time in and how you spend your time has a huge impact on literally every area of your life. So if you haven't already, make sure you share what you are doing or what you did do for December's challenge in the Facebook community group. And I'm not going to dive too much more into habits because obviously we spoke about this on last month's podcast when we spoke about, you know, changing your habits to change your life, because your habits dictate your reality, like period. Okay, let's move on to January's challenge. So for this month's challenge, I actually changed my mind and I swapped what I was going to do for this month's challenge to next month. I'm going to do that one next month because given we are the first day of 2025, the first day of the year, I thought it would be a great time for this challenge. So for the month of January, the first month of this year for 2025, I am challenging you to pick one or two. So pick 1 or 2 words that you want to embody for this year. So 1 or 2 words for 2025. So this is going to be, I guess a word for the year. Whether it's a single word or 2 words for 2025 that essentially, I guess, represents a theme or an intention that you want to focus on throughout the year. And this isn't, I guess, a goal as such. It's not like setting your goals, but more of a, I guess, guiding energy or guiding principle that will help you stay aligned with your values, with your goals and your priorities for this year. So setting, I guess, a word for the year can be a very powerful way to create clarity and, I guess, intentionality in your life. And it can truly help you stay focused on, what matters most to you and, I guess, provide you with something for you to come back to when you are maybe feeling like a little bit lost, feel like you're maybe falling off track or out of alignment with what truly matters for you. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. It's something that you can come back to realign. So, setting an intention or, I guess, a word for the year is very powerful. And what's even more powerful than just setting this intention is actually embodying it. So like I already said, this particular word is going to be something that is, of course, aligned with your values, your goals, your priorities, and, the things that you're wanting to work towards or work on or, achieve this year. So, it may take you a couple of days to actually, even a week or whatever, to actually come up with a word. So, just take your time, have a think about it. It doesn't mean that you have to come up with it right away, right this minute, but you might even be listening to this and you're like, oh, I already know where I want my focus to be this year. And, a word may have already come to mind for you. And if so, that's great. But if you haven't got a word, start by reflecting on, I guess, what's important to you and what you want to focus on this coming year in 2025. And, consider what you'd like to cultivate more of in your life and maybe what might be currently holding you back, something that you are wanting to really work on overcoming, and that helps you embody, overcoming that and that, I guess, theme for your year. It could even be a great time to do this when you are maybe sitting down to set your goals for the year or reflecting on the year that was. In 2024, if you've spent or you are going to spend some time reflecting on the year, which I strongly encourage you to do so. It's a very powerful way to actually be able to reflect and I guess extract the lessons that you learned to really help you move forward on your journey, I guess on our journey of life, essentially. But yeah, it could be a really powerful time to do when you're goal setting or, reflecting on the year that was and, like while you are identifying, what challenges came up for you, what lessons you learned, all that sort of stuff. But once you have come up with 1 word or 2 maximum, I would only encourage you to come up with 2 if you can't quite pinpoint it to 1 and you need another one. So 1 word or 2 words maximum. And journaling around this will be a very helpful and powerful way in allowing you to actually follow through on embodying it, because it's one thing to do to set an intention for the year, set a word for the year, and it's another thing to actually embody that for the year. So in a minute, I'm going to give you a couple of journal prompts that I've written down to help you get really clear on how you are going to embody this word in 2025. Because this is not just a set and forget vibe. That's just not what we do around here. I guess, so obviously we're in the first month of the year, we're in January. This is your word, like the word that you come up with this month in January 2025 is your word for the year, for the next 11, 12 months ahead. However, keep in mind that things can change. Life and priorities can change. So, if you need to, if it's required, give yourself permission to be, flexible and change or, adapt if you need. So, if you set a word of, if you said a word of, let's just say love, and you maybe have a horrible relationship breakup, or, experience something like that, or maybe you're grieving from loss of a loved one or something like that, and you feel like that word is just not aligned with you anymore, and maybe it needs to shift from love to self-love, or to something else that feels relevant to you, and that you resonate with and want to embody, then that is okay to change it. So just know that if you need to, you can change it, but ultimately, like, we're setting this for the year ahead. Okay, so some examples could be, and I'm going to share with you in a minute what my 2 words are, because I couldn't keep it at one. So we've got 2 words. I'm going to share that with you in a minute, but I wanted to go over some examples. So some examples could be, like I just said, it could be love and really focusing on, love in your relationships. It could be self-love and really learning to, throughout the year of 2025, cultivate more self-love and learn to love yourself, because when you truly love yourself, you show others how you want to be loved, and you can also give that love to others, because when you don't know how to love or how to be loved, you can't reflect that in your relationships. Another example could be action. It could be the year that you don't just say you're going to do something. It's the year that you actually follow through with the shit that you say that you're going to do, and that there's no more of this emotion shit where you're like, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to listen to the podcast, or I'm going to, do the course or the challenge or the program or whatever it might be, and you sign up for it and then you don't actually do it. Action is what it takes to bring results to life. So, is this your year of action? Is it a year of, maybe on the other end of the scale, like self-care and calm? Maybe it's a year where you are really wanting to be able to practice and embody this self-care at a realistic level that's going to help you be more calm and embody more of that into your life. So on the other end of the scale of the chaos. Hey girlfriend, I just wanted to let you know that for some strange and unknown reason and frustrating reason, when I'm using the system that I use to record my podcast episodes, mid-recording, it comes up with a alert on my screen to say, do you want to use another program for your audio? But I have my microphone plugged in and I'm clearly using that. So I don't know why it keeps doing this. It's like that I need to work out, but I'm jumping in to let you know that for some reason, it has cut out some of my episode. So I'm going to replay from not from where I left off. It skipped a small portion of the episode. So I'm just going to come back into it. Even when the fear is there, like the most successful people in the world haven't overcome fear. They still, that still comes up for them, but they are the brave ones who are willing to try, even when they are fearing whatever it might be. Is it maybe investing? Is 2025 the year that you invest in yourself? Whether it's money on something that's aligned with your goals, whether it's energy, whether it's, some time into something that's, important to you. Is it where you invest in what's aligned with your values? Is it mindfulness? Are you wanting to, cultivate more peace and calm and, mindfulness into your life? So that you can feel more clear, have more clarity, make decisions from a calm and relaxed place, as opposed to from a place of fear or chaos or, overwhelm. Is it a year of opportunity where you seek opportunities and put yourself in positions to, bring more opportunity into your life? Is it a year of organization where you get organized and, focus on preparation and, organize your life as a whole? Is it a year of patience? Maybe, do you need more patience? Are you really impatient and you are finding that it's having an impact on relationships or, work with your relationships with your work colleagues or your, work as a whole? Do you need to cultivate more patience? Is it a year of purpose where you are finding your purpose and really, deepening the connection with yourself to, unlock the innate wisdom within you to realize what your purpose is, what you came here to do? Is it a year of service where you are focused on, maybe you run your own business, maybe you're, an entrepreneur, however you say that word, I always fuck that up. But is it a year of service to your clients, to your customers, to your community, to whatever it might be? Is that your focus for 2025? Is it maybe surrender? This is really somewhat aligned with mine. If I didn't pick the two words that I chose, surrender was gonna be one of them. But is it surrendering and just trusting in a higher power to actually bring your desires into your life? Like, it's like, I don't chase, I attract. That's actually written on my vision board. Is it maybe gratitude or abundance? Are you focusing on cultivating more gratitude for your life and in your life, within your daily life, to really shift your state of being and out of a state of lack and into appreciation for what you do have? Is it maybe authenticity? Are you focusing on becoming a more authentic version of yourself and really connecting with your authentic self, like peeling back the layers of, the conditioning, the, beliefs and everything that's been placed upon you through your childhood and your upbringing to where you are now? And, are you working on, shedding that to really discover who you are at your core? Is it maybe intuition? Is it really connecting with your intuition and, what your inner guidance system is really leading you towards, and listening to those nudges and, getting quiet enough to actually hear them? Is it vulnerability? Is it learning to be vulnerable and putting your places in situations, events, whatever it might be, to be vulnerable and, knowing that it is safe for you to be vulnerable? Or is it habits? Like off the back of last month's challenge, are you wanting to, focus on your habits this year and really be aware of how you're spending your time? And, maybe you have, a list of habits that you want to actually start doing, because remember, like I said before, you have to be who you want to be in order to become that version of you. You have to be that higher version of you to become that higher version of you. So what habits does she engage in? What does she do? How does she spend her time? How does she spend her money? How does she, do everything in this life? And start to embody that in those habits into your life. So, those are just some examples, and some of those may have resonated with you. Some of them may not have. But ultimately, you want to pick obviously the theme or the focus or the, guiding energy that resonates with you in the season of life that you are currently in and that you want for yourself this year in 2025. My words, I have two, like I said, for 2025. I feel like they are both somewhat somewhat aligned and come hand in hand with one another. But the first word is intention and the second word is flow. So they are my words for 2025. Flow and intention. And I guess the reason, just very briefly to share with you, I guess my why behind this, or I guess why I have chosen these words and what this ultimately means for me. I feel like flow is something that I have been really focused on recently and I'm wanting to obviously embody more of, hence why it's my word for 2025. But having flow in my work, in my business, in my schedule and life, that is what I want to embody for 2025, having flow and, embodying, to me, that means embodying more feminine energy to, spark or allow more creativity to flow, with a sense of ease and, making decisions from a place of flow as opposed to, chaos or overwhelmed or I need to do this because of XYZ and, coming back to me and what I want and really doing things from a place of what I want to do. And yeah, I think flow, like I said, really embodying that feminine energy. I think flow is a byproduct of being more in your feminine energy, and where, off the back of that, then, that's where that creative energy sort of comes from. And I feel like the last few months I've been, not last few months, I feel like my life as a whole, it's something that I've been lacking a little bit of because I have been so in my masculine. I've been doing and not being. At the end of the day, we're human beings, we're not human doings. So yeah, flow is something that I want to embody in 2025. And I feel like it by having more flow, it's going to help in, my schedule, in my life, allowing a little bit more flexibility, and in particular in my work to allow creativity to flow. Like I said, with a sense of ease, but also knowing that, I can be in flow and still have, be out of my comfort zone and, maybe in challenging, scenarios, but, I can still be in flow in that. So yeah, that's one of my words. The other word is intention. And I guess what this means to me is really having intention behind like everything that I do, or most things that I do, having intention behind it to really help me, master my time, my schedule, and ultimately to spend my time with intention and ensuring that what I'm spending my time on is aligned with my values and my desires and, my goals, priorities, etc. So having that intention behind the actions that I'm taking on a day-to-day basis, on an hour-to-hour basis, or whatever that looks like in my work schedule, like thinking about before I'm doing something, what is my intention behind this? Why am I doing this? And then, moving from there, as opposed to, not being, I guess, consciously aware and maybe, starting something and just, not having any actual intention behind it. And then, maybe, wasting time, not being as productive as I could possibly be, and spending time on things that are, I guess, actually going to move the needle forward and in the direction of where I want to go. So yeah, I think as a whole, really just spending my time with intention so that, yeah, I'm not, leaking time and energy on things that I don't need to be. I'm actually, focused and aligned with my values, goals, priorities, etc. So yeah, they're my words for 2025. I feel like I said, I feel like they really come hand in hand. Like I feel like having intention is going to help me be in flow and not be distracted or, out of focus or whatever that might be, or whatever that might look like. But yeah, I feel like they really come hand in hand. And I feel like having, like I said, the intention will help with the flow, and being in flow can then help with intention as well. And I guess off the back of that, my other words that really resonated with me, which again, I feel like are aligned with those words, but surrender and creativity. I already mentioned, I guess, the flow and, being in my feminine energy, to really spark that creative flow, especially in my work and my business and my schedule and, how I spend my time. But yeah, so that was like my next words that if I was going to choose more, they would be. And I already mentioned surrender before in terms of I don't chase, I attract. Like that's more feminine energy and embodying that feminine energy and, trusting the universe and knowing that, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I trust in the divine timing of my life. So yes, that is me for January's challenge. So I've already shared with you what I'm doing for that and what my words are for this year. I want to hear what your words are for this year. So make sure you go ahead and share them in the Facebook group, which I will come back to in a second. I need to share with you the journal prompts. So 3 journal prompts that I'm going to share with you that can actually help you become aware of what your word is or words for 2025. So I'm going to, like I said, I've come up with these journal prompts. I'm going to tell you what they are now. I'm also going to put them in the show notes below so that you've got a copy of it and you don't have to pause this, write it down, come back to it, because I hate doing that sometimes. So even if you do want to come back to this, I'm recording this around 33 minutes. It could be different to what I actually say, but around 33 minutes, 35 minutes, whatever I said. So journal prompt number 1. What is my word or words or guiding intention or energy for 2025 and why? So what is my word or guiding energy for 2025 and why? Number 2 is how can I embody this word and live in alignment with it in 2025, starting today. 1st of January, 2025, starting today. So I'm going to say that again. How can I embody this work and live in alignment with it in 2025? Number 3 and final journal prompt is what actions can I implement that are going to support me and make it as easy as possible for me to embody this word for the year ahead. So let me say that once more. What actions can I implement that are going to support me and make it as easy as possible for me to embody this word for the year ahead? So just very quickly, that could be something like a monthly review and intention setting for the month ahead. So it could be, at the end of each month, sort of reviewing what that month that was looked like, how you did or maybe didn't embody this word, what challenges came up for you, and really just reviewing and evaluating. And then, off the back of that, then setting intentions for the month ahead of, how are you going to embody it this month? Maybe you have particular focus or themes for that month. How can you embody your word for that year, right? And just ultimately evaluating regularly. So maybe even setting, like in terms of the actions that you can actually implement to do this, it could be setting a reminder in your calendar before the end of each month to lock in some time in your calendar to do this review and intention setting and, actually sit down and evaluate it. Because like I said, this is not just a set and forget vibe. That is not what we do around here. That is not how you're going to embody the word that you choose for this year. And you'll get to the end of 2025 and look back and be like, oh, fuck, I didn't really embody, love. I didn't embody self-love. I didn't embody connection. I didn't embody health. You need to take the action. So those three journal prompts are going to help you get really clear on what your focus or theme, word, guiding intention, guiding energy, whatever you want to call it, is for 2025. So as always, the next monthly challenge will be dropping on the 1st of next month, so the 1st of Feb. And in the meantime, make sure you go join the SK Bodyworks community group on Facebook if you aren't already a part of it. And make sure that you are sharing in the community group what you are doing each month for the challenge or what you have done so that I can celebrate you, so that I can, be aware of what you're doing, so you can inspire other individuals in the group and ultimately, just connect with that like-minded group of women. And in addition to that, I do actually also have, I think I mentioned on last month's podcast episode, but I've recently created a broadcast channel on Instagram. So you'll find the link to join this in my bio. So on my Instagram profile, on my bio, you'll see it. It's called the Highest Self Society, and would love to have you join if you're not already in there. And like I said, we are doing these challenges together as a community. So, keep yourself accountable. Make sure you're posting in the Facebook group to share what you are doing, what you have been doing, exactly as I do each month as well. So that is all for today's episode. I hope that you have the most fucking amazing start to your year and the year ahead. And I'm so excited for the Gym and Tonic podcast this year and what is in store for it. I think I said on last month's episode as well, but I have plans to really step it up this year, and I have a lot of amazing guests lined up to bring you so much value. So if you have been enjoying these episodes, please let me know. Send me a DM. I love to hear the feedback. Whether it's positive, whether it's constructive, please let me know your feedback. And, even if you were to like, follow, subscribe, share, whatever else you do or can do, like for this podcast or this episode, I would be so greatly appreciated, as it can truly help me, get in more ears and change more women's lives. So thank you. And I will see you on the next positive. Where the hell did that come from? I'll see you on the next episode. And like I said, I hope you have the most amazing start to the year. Bye for now.